Here's our feeding hen decoy. One of the cool things about this decoy and throughout our full line of decoys is the new Apex stake system. This stake system has an overlarge cone that each of your fiberglass stakes will slide into. If you have gloves on in the morning, it's easy to find that spot of where it goes. And also, one of the cool things with the stake system, if you notice on the top, they have these little studs. There's 3 studs on the top. What that'll allow is no matter how you place that, there's about an 80-degree range of travel when the wind blows, so the decoy is not going to sit there and spin around facing a direction that you didn't intend for it to face. So if you want it facing in this certain direction away from your hunting setup, it's generally going to face that direction within 80 degrees or so. So it's not going to necessarily spin all the way around on you just because of this Apex stake system. Also, that's cool too, each of our decoys have an integrated slot for each of your stakes to slide in. There's a little rubber grommet in there that this will slide in and make it compact. It'll go in the bag that comes with the decoy in the packaging, and you can store those in those bags, throw it over your shoulder, and head out into the woods. So when you get out there, again, you just put it onto the decoy. Easy to find. You don't have to look for the small hole underneath or whatever. Gloves on or not, it'll always be set up. From a decoy carving standpoint and the texturing, we try to overemphasize the feather detailing. When you're up close, you don't necessarily notice it as much, but man, when you get out 20, 30 yards away, especially when the sunlight hits this, these things just really pop and look beautiful. You know, God gave a hen wild turkey unbelievable characteristics to blend in and to hide in their natural surroundings. But when the sunlight gets on them, they really can pop, especially if they're out in the open. What we try to do is highlight those portions of a hen that really jump out at you. The bronze on the wing feathers, we try to overly emphasize. The tail feathers, we try to drop down from this feeding posture, just have more of a submissive posture, especially lift the back end up. The feeding pose, same thing again. You know, we don't necessarily like the decoy to sit more like this. We like that head to be really down, really low to the ground. The most important thing that head is low like that is if you have one decoy out, and this is the only decoy you have as a feeding hen, it is an unobservant pose. What I mean by that, if you have a gobbler 200 yards away that you're calling and you're working, he sees this decoy and she never lifts her head up to acknowledge that he's even in her presence. When she doesn't look up at him, well then he gets mad. He'll break strut, he'll get closer. He'll break strut, he'll get closer. Eventually, he'll bring him in just off the posture alone because she's unobservant. You know, in the real world, the way it's supposed to happen is when she sees him, eventually she's gonna work his way. And he's just going to stay there and strut in that general area. But since she's unobservant, it'll help bring the gobbler in closer to hopefully within gunning range. So be sure to check out this decoy along with all of our other decoys within our turkey lineup. I think you'll have much success in the field. Check them out at your local sporting goods dealer or at higdonoutdoors.com.